Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon and a long-awaited unboxing of The Great Wall by Awaken Realms. This is one of the games that has had to deal with the international shipping issues, and Awaken Realms had to jump through a lot of hoops just to get this game to its United States backers, and they are slowly now trickling in. I received this just a couple of days before the new year, so unfortunately it was not one like I had hoped that I would be able to play in 2021 and rank. So it will be officially ranked in 2022, even though it's a 2021 game. Another note, if you notice the title, this is the Meeple version of the game. Obviously, Awaken Realms is known for their miniatures and their washes, but when they were creating this game, they decided to create a Meeple version and a miniature version. And I don't know what it was at the time. Maybe I just appreciated the price point of the Meeple version, but I think also around the fact that when I think of worker placement games, which this game essentially is, it's a worker placement game with a tower defense element, I think of little worker meeples. Miniatures just seemed like overkill. Now that I have seen a lot of gameplay and a lot of other unboxings of the actual miniature version, seen the washes come out, am I a little jealous, or do I wish that I had gone back and changed my pledge? Maybe a little, but I'm actually okay. I'm actually excited about the miniature version because I feel like this is something quite unique, and to my knowledge, this is going to be the first miniatures version unboxing other than Awaken Realms' stuff that they have put on. So let's here is the core box, and as you can see, it's really not that, I know this is a poor way to show you, but it's really not that big of a game. The box is not, it's the typical near 10 inches tall box. It's the same 12 by 12, but the thickness of the box is actually quite thin compared to most of my other Awaken Realms games. But here you can see that this is the Meeple's version. Very minimalistic back cover here. So that's the core box. We're going to be taking a look at that first, and then we will be taking a look at the Ancient Beasts expansion, the Black Powder expansion, the Stretch Goals box, and then last but not least, we will take a look at the surprise box. This appears to be highlighting their game Gaijin, which for those of you who are pretty steeped in the board game industry, you will have seen announcements by Awaken Realms for this game, so I'm not surprised that this is part of the surprise box, but I'm always curious as to see what's in here. So we will be unboxing this thing at the end of the video. Obviously, I'll give you plenty of spoiler warnings before that happens. So without further ado, let's get all this other stuff out of the way and take a look at the core box. Alright, so here we go. Some beautiful artwork in this game. The theme of this game really intrigues me. The whole, ancient China, Great Wall theme. So here's the rule book. It's Fantasy Flight's kind of standard big square rule book. What's nice is that it's they have included both types. You're going to see everything in the game. It's not, the rule book wasn't designed with just miniatures in mind. I've read through it. It's a pretty standard Awaken Realms rule book. These are not light games by any stretch of the means, and there's a lot of text in this rule book. But at the end of the day, it is pretty straightforward. There's a whole solo mode section, and it's only 14 pages here. There's an index in the back. Solo mode starts on page 12. If you consider that the rules after setup don't even really start till 7, you're looking at only about 5 pages of rules. So really not that complicated compared to, say, Etherfields or Tainted Grail, which they have produced in the past. So there's the rule book. All right, here are some player boards or ways to hide your resources when you are playing competitively. Now, I plan on playing this for the most part either competitively or, either solo or cooperatively. So I don't know how much use I'll actually get out of these boards, but there's actually some really nice reminders of everything. It's essentially like a player reference card that you can stand up and hide your resources from the other people. All right, so here is the board. It's quite large, so we're going to set this off to the side for right now and take a look at it zoomed out here in a second. All right, and then we have a whole bunch of stickers. Now, this is going to be the great debate for me as to whether or not I want to go through and sticker up all of my meeples. These are okay. I was expecting, they're very realistic looking. I don't know if you guys can see that well because they're quite dark at the end of the day. I was hoping for something more like Meeple-ish, to be quite honest with you. These are very different than what I was expecting. I don't know if maybe I just missed the update where the final stickers were revealed. They're also all identical, and I think that's one of the, really nice things about the miniatures is that each clan's miniatures are unique compared to the next. So your bannerman looks different than the other players' bannermen. But either way, it's nice that they included those. That was like a free add-on. It wasn't even part of the stretch goals. All right, and then we got some cardboard here, and then we got an insert, and this one looks to be like it's covering a lot of good bases here. We recently just did an unboxing for Batman the Animated Series and had an insert that was, it's almost worthless, and I may very well at the end of the day decide to chuck the insert. Sorry, I know that was loud. But Awaken Realms has definitely been improving their inserts over the years. So let's take a look at what we've got here as far as cardboard is concerned. So what's up here first is going to be some of the wall sections. So it's a worker placement game with a tower defense element where you're actually going to be building up 3D versions of the wall, of the Great Wall, which is really cool. I know that people have been concerned about how they store away these walls so they don't have to take them apart and build them back up again each time they want to play. And I'm wondering if my stretch goal box is going to be thinner than the other stretch goal boxes, but it would. So we're going to have to see how that all works out. There'll definitely be a reboxing video here at some point, even just showing off where I decided to put everything into the provided insert. Okay, and then we've got these are going to create three-dimensional barricades, and I honestly can't remember what these are for. Is this the first player token? Oh, no, that's the +1 token. Anyways, so I also think this is part of the reason why I decided to go with the miniatures version, because I was like, there's elements in the game that are just cardboard. Cardboard walls and cardboard barricades, and I felt like they would look almost silly compared to nice plastic miniatures. Who knows? I don't know. I made my decision. I'm standing by it, and I'm okay with that. So, all right. So that's all the cardboard, really. I was expecting more cardboard. So let's see what we got here. Nice cover. All right. So we've got some cards. Cards here, some markers. These are going to be tracking your position in the turn order on the T-track, as well as your position around the outer edge. Honor, I think it is like, essentially the VP is called Honor in this game. All right, a really nice tray for your resources. If I did have one regret now that I've seen it, it was that I did not go for the upgraded resources. These are just the standard resources, which you can see it's not bad. The gold's not bad. The health trackers are not bad. And I forget what the blue is called, but it's really just the wood and the stone that are lacking. All right, and then we have all the meeples, and really that's about it. So again, not an overly complicated game here. So let's take a look at some of these. Red will probably show up the best in my hand. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So these are going to be your clerks, I believe they're called. These guys are going to be your actual workers. They're going to be the ones who you place out, and they do your bidding, they get you your resources, things like that. They're the ones you're going to be placing into the worker placement spots. Then you've got various levels of soldiers here, and I'm only seeing two horsemen. I don't know exactly what the exact counts were supposed to be, but these are your soldiers then. Okay, a little sticky, but and so see, at the end of the day, I'm perfectly fine with these. You can definitely tell them apart. And so again, I'm really not sure whether or not I am going to go for the stickering or not. So if you have an opinion, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. I guess I could always try and get the stickers off if I really didn't like them. I don't know. But there's just a look at what the workers are. Again, it's going to be identical here for the blue, yellow, and green. We already took a look at this plastic. Let's just take a look at some of the resources real quick. See if I can break into these bags. Alright, so here's the gold. Not bad. It's not a gold bar, but it looks like raw gold almost. I'm okay with that. And then here are the health trackers. I think they really did a good job with these. Ooh, I'm losing them. They look like cough drops at a quick glance, but they're really nicely done. They're like drops of blood, 2 drops of blood. You know, really, I feel like those are super upgraded. I would have been perfectly fine with some wooden hearts or something like that. And then here's these blue crystals. They're essentially just the opposite of the gold, but in kind of a see-through blue. Get those in there. And then the wood and the stone looks like exactly what you would see in many other worker placement games. So there's the wood, and here is the stone. If I could open a baggie. And hopefully once I get them into this tray over here, I'll just put the lid back on the tray and won't have to worry about bagging them all up. So this is really nice that this was part of the insert. That's just, you know, that's what you get. That's standard as far as the game is concerned. So let me just throw these over here. All right. Okay. So let me take some time here to unwrap these cards, and we'll take a look at the cards, and then we'll zoom out, take a look at the board before moving on to the stretch goal box. So I guess we'll do the stretch goal box next. So lots of cards to look at. All right. Okay, so let's start with the general cards. And so there's actually quite a lot here. I'm not going to go through all of these, but each one of these has its own unique ability, and you know, it also gives you a variable setup. So you know, everybody starts with a different setup, a different order in the T-track, different ability. So it's really nice how truly many there are here. You know, I have no idea whether these guys are based in reality or not. And then you also have the Reed clan general here. There appears to be 2, I guess. This is if you were playing cooperatively, you'd still have the Reed clan involved, or if you play 2 players, you have the Reed clan involved. So you could give each player 1. But this just basically gives you the reminders of what they do in their various locations. So you know, even the AI is not left without a general card. So nice little touch there. But so yeah, there we go. Like that one appears to be probably very unique from, say, that one we saw earlier with the the dead head under its arms. And so these are oversized cards. And then the only other oversized cards that we have in the game are the Horde cards. So this is what they look like on the back. This is going to give you 2 spots to put these tokens into, and that's something. Oh, that must have been what those tokens. Okay. Anyways, this is going to tell you which lane this is going to appear in. So you can see 1, 2, or 3, and those are going to change. So as they come up, they're gonna pop into different lanes. But then on the front side here, you are this is how much damage it's going to do to the wall. So you got to make sure your wall strength. There's some ability here. You can cover up these icons here, and for each one that you cover up, you're going to gain the reward underneath. So these ones are going to give you stone. These ones are going to give you honor points. Whoever has done the most damage to this card is going to get 5 honor points. And as you can see, they get progressively harder. They also, there are people who can hit in a line, especially Black Powder or the Horsemen who can hit side by side. So having cards like these where they split it out, and you can't cover 3 in a row on this card. Or this one, the Horsemen would be absolutely worthless against a Pikmin, which makes sense. Pikmin were designed to unseat generals off their horses. So variable cards here. There are a certain number. Here you can see here the some of the cooperative cards that you're going to be mixing in if you're playing cooperative or solo, things like that. So big old stack of these. This is probably the biggest stack of cards in the game. So that's nice. Then let's move on to the smallest set of cards. These are little mini Euro size cards here, and these are these first ones are going to be basically goals. You can see that they're for the cooperative mode here. These are going to be goals that you're going to have to reach within a specific round, and if you I think total of maybe like 12 are going to come out, and if you satisfy 6 of them over the course of the game, you will have been successful. So in a competitive game, you're going to be trying to accrue the most honor points, the most victory points, but obviously in cooperative mode that doesn't make any sense. So to be successful in the game, you have to complete a certain number of these challenges per se. So here it says discard 4 times the number of players in that's basically all the resources from the warehouse. This one is sacrifice X per player. Not 100% sure what that symbol is, but as you can see here, they vary. And then these are going to be end game scoring conditions that can vary throughout the game. I think there's like 2 or 3 dealt out each time, and these are going to give you variable ways to score at the end of the game. So 7 honor points for each soldier above 5. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Again, there's a lot of symbology I still need to memorize here, obviously, with the game. Okay. Then, similar to that, let's just kind of stay on that theme. These are event cards here. These are going to come out, I believe these are both in, no, these are only in cooperative mode. So you can see here again, the little handshake symbol here. These are going to be events that you're going to draw and shuffle up and draw one between each round. It's going to give you an immediate effect and then a passive effect. Some of them have, there's some little flavor text at the top, and like this one only has a passive effect. So obviously they're ways for the game to mess with you. I believe there are some positive effects in here, but otherwise, they're event cards. And again, only for the solo mode. So these, which is quite a decent stack again here, are going to be, gosh, what is the names of these? Basically, you can bring these people on to either, they're like servants or advisors. Basically, you can either hire them to use them for this skill here, and so you set them off to the side, but you can only have a certain number. I believe it's only 1 of these guys, so paired with your general gives you, your kind of dual abilities for the game. Or you could decide to flip them over and pair them underneath your general for various effects here. No, these are all the same. So what is it that I am missing here? Yeah, I know these guys bear your advisorship. I'm just not 100% sure. These all have the scrolls in the bottom of them, so again, I'll have to look into that. But I know there is a decision you have to make in the game as to whether you use them for this ability or you flip them over and you kind of tuck them underneath your general and basically get like between round bonuses. Alright, then we have a whole bunch of these tactics cards. I think they're all the same for all game modes, maybe not, we'll see. But these are basically going to be cards that you can have in your hand that are going to give you various effects during battle. It's kind of going to give you the ability to turn the tide in battle. These will be shuffled up and placed in a face down draw pile, and then you can send a worker to draw one of these to your hand. So and then there's the effect, and then a boosted effect if you pay 6 of those blue gems. You can see here, pay 3 for the boosted effect, and you can decide when to play these out of your hand. Alright, the last set of cards here are basically how you're going to kind of decide what happens on each round. So this is a very interesting, it's not so much that, alright, here's round 1, place out 1 worker, and the next person places out 1 worker. What you're going to do is everyone's going to decide which one of these cards they're going to play, which kind of action they're going to take. This is somewhat similar to the Terraforming Mars Ares expedition, which was very popular last year, where you could all choose the same card, essentially. And you're going to have to choose a different card the next round. But you can see that when you play this card, you're going to get an action, move each of your clerks to any location, and then other players move up to 2 clerks to any 2 locations. And then for each attack order card on the command track, you may perform an advanced activation in any one location. So it's like I go, everybody goes, I go, and each one of these is a little different. Betrayal and economy are a little different, but you are essentially face down choosing which one of the cards you're going to do. So this does make a difference when you're playing competitively, and then the other people will do the same. And then in T-track order, you can decide whether you're going to do like betrayal first, or you're going to, if you want to go last with your card, and that's when you play it down. So very interesting mechanic here of choosing how the actions go. So it's much more different than just putting your workers down, collecting some resources. A round is going to be very intricate, a single round. So, all right, that is all the cards for the game. So let's take a look at the board, and then, like I said, we'll move on to all these other boxes we have here. Okay, so here is the board. It is quite large, but it is, the same size as the Nemesis board, and probably the same size as the Etherfields board. So pretty standard 6-section board, bifold board. They did create a playmat, which I did not go for, but very nice. Artwork on the board doesn't distract you from the game, but I feel like they did a great job with this. So basically the board is divided up into 2 halves. Everything over here is where you're going to be building up the individual wall sections. You can put out your barricades here. There's spots for the towers, which are part of the Black Powder expansion, and then these are where the Horde cards are going to be sitting. And you can see here that this, they'll be coming in from, like, here's your draw pile, things like that. And then there's a whole bunch of other this is where you're going to be putting your command cards in order. And so, once you flip them over, and obviously this is for a 3-player game. The reverse side of this has a 4- and 5-player slots. And if you are playing solo or 2-player cooperative, or even 2-player competitive, you're still going to play on the 3-player side, and you're going to add that Reed clan general card and the Reed Clan cards and things like that into the game. So you're almost always going to be playing with a 3 players almost. But then everything on this side of the board is the worker placement spots. So you can see here there's spots for those tactic cards to draw, and then down here is where you can earn, you know, the blue gems, the gold, the stone, the wood. And now there's a lot of nuances about how you go about gaining that stuff and what you can put down here in these lower boxes. I'm not going to get into all that now, but just so you know, it's not as simple as put a worker down, claim your wood or stone or whatnot. And then there's places like, you know, the warehouse area where you can send community goods to help build the walls, places to train up your workers, places to build the wall and build barricades, things like that. Here's, you know, where you can change your turn order placement on the T-track. Just so much stuff, really a lot of options. And then there's various places to put cards and stuff along this side of the board, and then obviously going all the way around just 2 sides. So I think because they have place for cards to hang off here, they only went 2 sides with the victory track. But again, as we noticed, there was, if you get to 100, you get a little token that says you reached 100 plus points, and then the reverse side is actually 200 plus points. So, but yeah, here is the massive board that's part of Great Wall. So that's going to do it for the core box. Up next, we're going to do the stretch goal box, which is going to introduce the solo rules, I believe, more solo components, but also the 5th player, so you can play up to 5 players. In the base box, there's just 4. And lots of other stuff. So let's go ahead and Genghis Khan, things like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Okay, so here is the stretch goal box. I'm assuming it's a lot thinner than the miniatures version of the stretch goal box. But let's just see what we got here. So we've got ourselves some additional rules for the stretch goal box. The biggest one being there's a 5th player expansion, but also Genghis Khan. So Genghis Khan's a way to kind of ramp up the difficulty for everyone in playing the playing against the hordes. He makes the hordes harder. Sorry. Also, we have the Ancient Chronicles here. Ancient Chronicles are a way to play through a set of scenarios. I believe these are all cooperative, or technically can be played solo here. So gives you update on those, and then just a little bit about the 5th player, and then the Rat expansion. The Rat miniature was kind of like their, I believe, like their day 1 Kickstarter exclusive. All right, so we have a 5th player board here. Probably go ahead and add that in with the others. Then we have stickers, all for all the new people. And one thing that this does introduce, so you can see here's the Orange Clan, all the soldiers and whatnot. But then the 5th player also introduced the Bannermen. And so these guys are going to be people who have their own unique capabilities on the battlefield. And then Genghis Khan here, who is going to have his own little miniature. All right, so there's that sticker sheet. Another nice little cover for everything. All right, so we have got our Orange Clan. Everything we need for the Orange Clan, including their T-Track and Honor Tracker. All right, then we've got our Bannermen here and our Genghis Khan miniatures. All right, so here is Genghis Khan. He was a pretty impressive miniature, I will have to say that. And then the Bannermen. So there's, this guy will go in with there, and then we'll probably mix all the rest of these in with their actual Meeples, workers. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the miniatures here. So this is an actual miniature. No matter what pledge level, you got the Rat miniature. And so I believe this is a way to just make the game a little easier, if I recall. So you're going to be moving him around to various worker spots, and I think makes it a little easier to activate those worker spots. Pretty sure this is just a super fancy first player token here. So whoever's tops on the T-track can go ahead and take that. And then the Iron Dragon. So this is actually should go along with the Black Powder expansion, I think, at the end of the day. This, I apologize, this was the day one backing. So as long as you backed the game on day one, you got this dragon miniature. This is, I'm going to be honest with you, a little smaller than I thought it was going to be. It looked quite impressive on the Kickstarter page, and I thought this was going to be this really cool miniature that I was going to be able to display. I guess it still has to fit onto the map, onto the player board, but and so maybe I'm not so fussed about having not gotten with the, but I wish they would have given me a Meeple version for this, because this would look a little funny. We'll see how it all works out. So some more cards where you are going to be given basically end game scoring, stuff like that. So some more of those. And let's see here. We've got some Genghis Khan cards, some more advisor cards, things like that. There appears to be some more tactics cards. So I'm pretty sure this is just a little bit more of everything. Let's see what's on here. This is the Iron Dragon specific cards. So I guess if you didn't back on day one, do you just get an empty spot right there? Anyways, setup. Place the Iron Dragon deck below the board. Beginning of every spring, reveal the top card of the deck. This card shows the targets of the Iron Dragon for the current year. If there are no more cards to reveal, reshuffle the deck and reveal a new card. Interesting. Okay. So this must, at the end of the day, make the game a little easier. I'm not sure how. We'll have to read in the rule book here. Rules. This card acts as a location with 4 worker slots for games with 1 to 3 players, or 5 worker slots. The Iron Dragon is a unique location. Players cannot move their, I don't know if those are the archer symbols, to this location using normal rules. Instead, each time a player moves any number of clerks, they may pay 1 to move 1 additional clerk from their pool to this location. When the Iron Dragon is activated, any horde card currently targeted is immediately defeated. Scoring honor. Wow. Okay. So there's the Iron Dragon expansion. And then we have this card here. Okay, so this is the Iron Dragon location. This is the physical location that you'll be putting out on the board. And then this would appear to be scenario specific cards. So we're not going to dive too much into those. Some more generals. Basically a whole lot more of everything. The Iron Dragon thing I think is going to be a fun little thing to add in. There's a lot of room in this tray, and I'm wondering, you know, what all they were hoping to put in there. You know, like this slot down here. What's supposed to go right here? I mean, you could stick those down there, but you don't have to. So very curious. Very curious. Again, now I have heard that many people have used this box, I guess taken out the insert, to hold their walls pre-built, but I'm wondering if whether this box is even tall enough. So that's a quick look at the stretch goal box. Let's now move on and take a look at the Black Powder expansion. Alright, so here is the Black Powder expansion. This essentially introduces some heavy artillery for both you and the hordes. Also, it's going to introduce a whole new Meeple for your army. Some towers, a whole bunch of other stuff. So again, a little rule book explaining what they're adding here. War machines, siege engines, special soldiers. What's nice is that, see how these are each unique. Whereas every other character, I guess because they're the special soldiers, but they're going to give us some towers to build, some 8 sticker sheets, interesting, Snake Clan tokens. So yeah, take a look at what's in the box here. All right, so one mini cardboard thing, and some multiple pieces of cardboard here. These appear to just be the towers, yeah. So I'm not going to bother unwrapping this all right now, but essentially these are going to be built up, or I think they're going to start out on the board next to the wall. So you're getting war machines, they're getting siege engines, you know, so both sides, you know, are ramping things up here. All right, so again, more stickers that you can add to everything. Here are the unique soldiers, which again, I really appreciate that. I'm not quite sure what these are for, but that they went and that the meeples are uniquely shaped for each one. So, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because now there's 5 players available. All right, same old cover. We've seen this before. All right, so obviously they're going to be adding in some additional horde cards, which are going to include things like the battering rams. You're going to mix these up if you're playing with a black powder expansion, and they might pop up. It appears that there's some unique generals on the bottom. And let's, we're going to take a look at that here in just a second. Not 100% sure what these are, rocket shot cards. But it appears to be some more endgame scoring stuff. Let's take a look at some of these fun meeples here. So we've got things like, pretty sure that's the trebuchet. Well, one of these is the trebuchet, one of those is a cannon. So I believe these are the ones you can get on your side, and these are the things they're going to get on their side. So catapult, ladder, and battering ram. So you each get 3 things that you can add to your repertoire here. So there we go. All right, and then we have our unique fighters. I really like the turtle tanks though. These things are awesome. Super chunky suckers. Man, they went all out with these. See, I really appreciate this. Look at even the thickness of them compared to like the other war machines, but that's the turtle tank one. That's awesome. Awesome freaking meeple right there. And then we have, there's be 3 of each type. I can get a red one out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy with his little mini handheld crossbow. This guy with his fancy stick. And there's this guy, not quite sure what he's holding. And then this guy, I believe, is like supposed to be throwing something. Got a grenade in his hand. All right, let's open this sucker up real quick and just see what what beholds us here in this deck. So it says that the Turtle Clan tank has a certain cost. Ability: tanks can occupy up to 4 vital spots. Tanks can only attack horde cards in the first row. Tanks can be placed on vital spots covered with, can be played if they're already covered with wounds. Tanks must cover at least 1 vital spot and cannot exceed the borders. Tanks are immune to cannons. Okay, crossbowman, flamethrower, and Monkey Clan monk. Oh, Bomberman. Panda Clan Bomberman. Pretty sure Panda Clan is orange. We know who Turtle Tank is. Snake Clan Crossbowman. That must be this guy. So then Flamethrower? I don't know. Anyways, we've got some more stuff here. The rocket launcher, cannon, ballista, some new advisors. So yeah, again, a whole bunch more stuff. Just different modules that can be added into the game to change things up. But I'm really excited about this, and just having the whole war machine thing, really beefing up that tower defense. Also very excited about these super chunky turtle tanks here. Those are not going to fit in with the other Meeples, so they're going to have to live here by themselves in this package here. So, all right. So that was the Black Powder expansion. Let's now take a look at the Ancient Beasts, and then finally the surprise box. All right, so here's the Ancient Beasts expansion. These guys, this is adding some like mythical creatures. Adds 4 legendary entities to the game. So I believe possibly the Iron Dragon fits into this category, and not the Black Powder category. This is the one box that I regret the most not upgrading to the miniature version. If I had to choose one, it would be, you know, upgraded resources and upgraded these so that I could match with the Iron Dragon. We'll see. Maybe we'll look into tracking that down. We'll see how much I appreciate the Ancient Beast expansion. Now this box is interesting because it does not appear that it's meant to be a permanent box. It's a much different setup. I wonder if the miniatures version is the same way. So we'll probably squeeze these in with the Black Powder expansion. Alright, so here's our 4 legendary beasts. Those are okay. No stickers though. It does not appear that this came with any stickers, which is a little disappointing. Let's see what these guys will do for you here. No instruction manual either, which is interesting. Let me make sure I'm not leaving something. Oh, there is. Oh, and there's even, okay. I take it back. We left some stuff behind. So a very quick rule sheet here explaining what the Ancient Beast expansion does for you, and I did get some stickers, so that's not too bad. And it's interesting, they give you 3 of each, as if you get a mess up. You get a free oops. I wonder if they did that with the soldiers too. Gave you some extras. Alright, so let's see what these bad boys can do for you here. These appear to be additional tactics cards, but utilize them because these are some advisors. Alright, so we got more advisors here. And then here are the actual, yeah, so let's see here, effect. This can move only to non-production locations. Each time the location with Fenghuan is activated, get 1 honor. Upgrade cost 2. You may move this reveal next Fengwei card. Okay. AO, move only to rest zones. So it almost appears like these guys don't fight. They're back behind the wall. But then they do have these tactics cards here, like Zealots. So, interesting. These are probably what I know the least about thus far. But there, it's okay for an insert. The box is a little flimsy. Kind of got beat up a little bit in transport. So we're definitely going to try and find a different spot for these guys for sure. Okay, this is our last item of this lengthy unboxing video here. You have been warned. If for some reason you are not interested in knowing what's in the surprise box, turn away now. This is the last thing I'm going to be showing off. That's all the content. Basically, I got an all-in pledge, but the Meeple version. So this is all she wrote. This is the surprise box. Last chance to turn away. All right. So we have a nice little coin here. Real coin. A square in the middle. Not 100% sure. Maybe this explains what this is. Usually this is just a thank you letter, which I always think is a really nice touch to the backers. And that pretty much is it. Let me just see. The metal coin, an additional component with which you may track the currently resolved command card during your Great Wall plays. Okay, not bad. And then the Gaijin art book, an art book for Awaken Realms Light's upcoming game set in a vivid post-apocalyptic cyberpunk world. It will be going live on GameFound this year. This actually Gaijin may have already hit GameFound, if I am remembering things correctly. Let's just see what this art looks like. I have yet to actually back a GameFound or Awaken Realms Light game. I don't know why I haven't, but they're just not quite as on my radar as the other games. So 1 to 4 players, 90 plus minutes, 12 plus. Not huge into the cyberpunk theme. But I guess we'll have to check this out. So a lot of purples and blues and whatnot. Scenery. I mean, artwork's okay, but this book is not doing it for me as far as making me go, ooh, I really want to play that game. That's not a bad picture. Okay. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. An art book for an upcoming project. I have a bunch of these secret boxes lying around, several for ISS Vanguard. But anyways, that's going to do it for our unboxing of the Great Wall Meeple version. Up next, we'll be having a reboxing video where I hope to find a way to store away my wall sections without having to disassemble them and get my ancient beasts into probably the black powder expansion. And yeah, and so we're going to see where everything goes from there. But after that, obviously, we will be doing some how to play and some gameplay videos. So if you have enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be involved in the upcoming Great Wall content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.